My 28F husband's 29F best friend, 23F, is ruining our marriage and driving me insane. I want to preface this by saying that my husband has autism, his best female friend has ADHD, and I suffer from childhood trauma and depression. My husband, 29M, and I, 28F, have been married for almost 2 years now, together for 4 years. He met his current best female friend, 23F, at work. They've been friends for about 4 months now. She has lived a sheltered life because her family is extremely religious, so they homeschooled her and she didn't go to college. She's still very childish and doesn't know how to be a functioning adult, especially since she still lives at home with her parents and they control almost her entire life. My husband felt badly for her because no one in their department can stand her, so he's taken her under his wing and she never leaves his side. I started working at my husband's company 3 months ago in a different department from the two of them, which was when I met her. My husband really wanted the two of us to be friends. So he volunteered me to teach her how to drive. He doesn't have his license, and made us all hang out once if not twice a week in addition to all of our breaks at work. For the past month, she's also been staying with us 3-4 nights a week. Not really a decision I was included in, but instead informed it was happening, on the living room couch bed so we can drive her to work. Her mother is disabled and her father has a new job, so he can't drive her most days. So at least 5 days out of the week every week, it's the 3 of us. Then the other 2 days my husband and I are too tired from work and chores. At first, things were mostly fine. Some days she's okay and will be decent towards me. However, 50–75% of the time she'll glare at me, talk under her breath in response to something I said or did, interrupt me whenever I try to speak, and actively get in between my husband and me. She's extremely touchy-feely with my husband, which he claims she's like with friends, but she's not like that with me at all. A supposed friend. She also had made promises to my husband prior to her staying over she hasn't kept. She promised she'd wash any utensils or plates she used. She's done none. That she'd buy her own groceries. She buys cheese and fruit, then complains it's not enough for dinner and eats our food. And that she would just be all around respectful. Except she chucks her trash everywhere and has never cleaned any of it up. Neither has my husband, so it's been my job. My husband thinks I'm overreacting and that all of her behavior is innocent. I'm just viewing it through a malicious lens. He says there's no way it's malicious because she tells him how much she likes me and how much she enjoys spending time with both of us, even though she never likes spending with other women. Regardless, sometimes he claims he doesn't see the behavior that happens literally right next to him. Other times after the fact he'll say he had noticed how she was acting towards me but didn't know how to do anything about it, so did nothing. He initially thought a few weeks ago it could have been malicious, but since he's found out she has ADHD and treats other people in their department similarly horribly, he thinks it's just because she's mentally ill and I need to accept it. None of this behavior has ever been directed at him though, and he made sure to tell me he has never had any negative interaction with her. Funnily enough, he said that while we were having an argument about her impact on me, which really hurt. I keep trying to be her friend. I go out of my way whenever I can to get things for her, to help her feel comfortable at our apartment, to listen to her problems and offer advice when I can. I'm doing literally everything I can to be her friend. Some days it's okay and I think we're making progress. And then the next day I'm treated like I don't even exist, or that my existence is literally the bane of hers. It's killing me. It's driving me insane. It's making me feel suicidal because my apartment doesn't feel like my home anymore. My husband and I fight almost every day. I have to see her all the fucking time, and I'm in a constant state of unbearable stress. I've talked with my husband on how emotionally draining this is and how suicidal it's making me, but he doesn't get it. He's continued to try and force us to be friends by making us spend more time together. He continues to say he'll find a way to fix this because he doesn't want to have to choose between us. For the past month, I've had to force myself to be around her just so I can actually spend time with my husband. I've told him how I don't understand why this is such an issue for him. If I had a friend treat him like she's treating me, I wouldn't want them as a friend. I've talked about how I don't understand how a friend he's had for 4 months who treats me like shit is being treated equally to me, his wife, the supposed love of his life. I'm losing my fucking mind and I don't know what to fucking do. How can I get my husband to understand how seriously this is affecting both me and our marriage? TLDR. My husband's female best friend with ADHD treats me horribly 50–75% of the 5 days I'm forced to spend with her each week, and my husband doesn't really see a problem with it, other than my perception of her actions. I'm autistic and my girlfriend has ADHD. This has nothing to do with mental illness or neurodivergency. Your husband's best friend isn't ruining your marriage. Your husband is. Even if she was the sweetest person in the world, you would be justified in not wanting her at your house 5 days a week. Your husband is literally telling you every day that she is more important to him than you are. Move out. Start to move on with your life. If he comes to his senses and wants to make changes, insist on couples therapy and do not move back in with him until you see he's making good on those changes. Do it immediately. Your mental health depends on it. Don't be a doormat. Stand up for yourself and make it clear that you don't want her in your home anymore. Trying to be friends with her is a huge waste of your time and mental energy. She's made it clear that she doesn't respect you and is after your man. This is not someone you want to be friends with. She needs to get the hell out of your house and give y'all personal space. If your husband has a problem with that, break up with his sorry ass. Autism and ADHD have nothing to do with any of this. I'm not sure why you even felt the need to share that. Neither does her sheltered, religious upbringing. Your husband is simply not being a good husband. Lose the friend, or lose the husband. Say hi to your sister wife. My 30M girlfriend, 26F, of 7 years asked for a break while on a solo trip in Europe. My girl is graduating college and has a travel abroad program required in Italy. I encouraged her to spend more time traveling since she's about to commit to a career for the rest of her life. So, she decided she's going to travel alone for a month before the travel abroad program, with my support to do so. She's been to Europe twice. Once with me and another time with her girlfriends. When we went together in 2019, she had to leave early and I traveled with my brother before traveling solo for a week. Was she totally comfortable with me going to the Greek party islands alone? No. So, we agreed I would text her periodically and text her when I got home. I did. Fast forward to the present, where she meets up with her girlfriend to go to Ibiza, party island. Am I totally comfortable? No. Thus again, we agreed to just text periodically and let me know when you get home safely. I don't hear from her for 8 hours. Apparently she locked her phone for 3 hours and couldn't message me when she got home before falling asleep. I was slightly frustrated and asked some follow-up questions about how that happened because it's odd. She got defensive and gave me attitude about having to explain herself to me. I explained I have every right to ask, since I'm her boyfriend of 7 years. I dropped the conversation and said we could talk later. She went out again the next night and texted me a short, headed home. Next we speak, she says that we both need a break. She said I need to work on my confidence and she needs to learn how to love herself without depending on my affirmations. I told her I don't want a break, but if she does, then we need to just break up. She said she didn't want to break up but is standing firm on requiring a break. So, I broke up with her. My thought process is that you don't get to simply say, I want a break right now because I'm enjoying life, and I'll deal with our relationship when I get back. For context, when I was in Greece alone, she got super jealous and angry regarding a situation. What did I do? I left the club and called her immediately to discuss the situation. Imagine if I had said, I think we both need a break. I'd be regarded as such a bad boyfriend. All to say, I'm pretty hurt. She said the break wasn't to go hook up with others but to focus on ourselves. Now I've given her all the space she needs. I'm feeling somewhat torn between overreacting over her wanting a break but also standing firm on that I don't think that's fair of you to do in this situation. Too long did not read. Girlfriend of 7 years says she wants a break after we got into an argument. I told her if she wants a break, we break up for good. She held firm and I broke things off. Was I in the wrong? I think it's quite admirable that you stood your ground for your beliefs. You do not want a break, she did, and breaking up was the unfortunate consequence of that. It is hard, I get that. From what I have read, I think it was the right call to make, even though you will be sad for quite some time. Take care and good luck. Dude, it is a breath of fresh air to see someone handle the situation as well as you did. I'm not going to get into all the reasons why, but kudos to you. No, you were not wrong, but this only works if you do not take her back when she returns. Otherwise, it will have been the break she asked for. Meanwhile, she will be free in every sense to do whatever she likes. Good luck. Pretty convenient to want a break while at Ibiza. Yeah, wants a break while on holiday. Giant red flag. If she wants to get back together when she gets home, what will you do? I, 25F. Overheard my 27M boyfriend say that he chose the wrong girl. For context, me and my boyfriend have been together for in total 8 years. We met between mutual friends while I was still in school and he had just moved to my town to go to college. We were friends for 2 years before we started dating. The reason for this was because 1. I was too scared to make a move, and secondly, he was in love with one of our mutual friends. After she got a boyfriend, he moved on to liking me and we have been dating ever since. Last Saturday was his birthday and he told me he has never been thrown a surprise birthday party and would like to experience one. I worked all week before Saturday, his birthday, planning and inviting people, getting reservations, buying a cake, etc. I asked his best friend to hang out with him for most of the day so that I could set up and get everyone to get here and hide for the surprise. The birthday party was a success and he was smiling the whole time. He had snuck off with his best friend somewhere and I wanted to find him so that we could sing happy birthday and cut the cake. As I was walking down the hallway I heard him and his friend talking, so I kept walking towards their voices. I heard him tell his friend that he should have kept trying with our mutual friend. He told him that he should have been the man that was engaged to her and not her now fiancé. He said that he hated waking up to me and that he wished that our mutual friend was the one that threw him his first surprise party. He said that he felt disgusted every time he had to kiss me or hold me because he knew that our mutual friend should be in his arms instead. He said that he felt like he was stuck in our relationship and that he would end up having to marry me. He said that our mutual friend was better than me in looks from head to toe. He said that she was the most gorgeous girl I've ever seen. I went back to the party and told everyone that I couldn't find him and that we would have to wait for him to come back. When he came back, he gave me a hug and a kiss on the head and told me he loved me. I didn't want to ruin his party, so I went along with it. He doesn't know that I know he doesn't honestly love me. I've just been going along with everything. I honestly don't want to break up with him. I just want to know how I can make him fall in love with me. I don't know what I did to make him feel so unhappy, so I would like to know, how do I make my boyfriend fall in love with me, or should I just give up on our relationship? He is the first boyfriend I've ever had and I'm scared to start dating again at my age. I'm going to say this very bluntly. Please have some self-respect. This guy that supposedly loves you doesn't want you, finds being with you disgusting, and you want to stay with this person who feels stuck in a relationship with you. Get higher standards. Your boyfriend is a really bad person. Like, who the fuck does this to someone? Short answer. You can't. And it's nothing wrong with you. You are sound like an amazing partner and deserve the same level of appreciation that you give. But he will never be able to do that. Because this girl is not even a real person anymore. It's a dream about perfect girl that he is in love with. You already spent 8 years competing with impossible mirage. Dream girl doesn't get headaches, become frustrated, or has a bad day. Please choose yourself. Give yourself chance to be loved and cared by someone else. And until you end this relationship, you will never be free to do that. Although he didn't tell you. Never let a man tell you twice that he doesn't want you. If you try to force this relationship, he is going to start resenting you because he feels stuck with you. You seem like a wonderful person and you deserve much better than this guy. Cut your emotional losses and move on. It may hurt for a while, but you'll get through this. At my age. Bruh, you're 25, not 85. I'm sorry, after 8 years of being together he talks in the most disgusting way possible about you behind your back and you still want to be in a relationship with him? He's trash and you are too, to yourself, if you stay with him. My 26F boyfriend, 27 male, has destroyed my self-esteem on purpose. I've been dating my 27 female boyfriend, 28 male, for almost a year now, and have been in a committed relationship with him for almost 6 months. He is very kind to me most of the time, but since the beginning he has been chipping away at my self-esteem. A few years ago I got ill and a medication I was on made me put on about 60 pounds, which I have now lost. He knows that body image is one of my major insecurities. I have been very open with him about this insecurity, and since I told him, he has used it against me majorly. At first it was small comments, telling me how thin his ex was, comparing my body type to other people's, etc. Then it became a bit worse, being more direct and outright saying things he knew would upset me, like implying I was too big to be cold, or telling me I am the biggest person he's ever been with out of over 60 women. I am a very healthy weight with a BMI of below average for my height and age, but the way he has made me feel was as low as when I was obese. It all came to a head when I confronted him when we were drunk and he admitted that he has always done this to girlfriends. and it was because he thought I was too good for him, and in a calculated way wanted to keep me down, so I wouldn't leave. I asked him if he believed the things he said to me and he said not at all, he just knew that it was what would upset me the most. He has apologized profusely, promised to never do this again, and for the past month or so has shown genuine change. He compliments me all the time and tell me how perfect he thinks my body is, etc. I cannot however get the things he has said out of my mind. I find myself breaking down and sobbing for hours throughout the day. I feel like an emotional wreck and I don't know how to cope with it all. My self-esteem is so low. I really want this relationship to work, but the things he has said have had a lasting effect on me and I don't know if I can get past them. I love him so much. Do you think this relationship has a chance of lasting? Do you think I can get past things he has said, or do you think they will always stick with me? Wow. If you stay, he will continue to destroy your self-esteem. Do not believe him. Abusive people do not change just by saying, "I'll do better. This guy is an absolute piece of garbage." Don't just dump him. Run like hell and put him on blast. Warn your friends about how this guy is. Go get into therapy to undo all the mind fucking he's put on you. Do you want to be with a guy who admits to hurting multiple women on purpose because of his insecurities? Ask yourself why you don't want better for yourself and why you stayed so long. I'm sorry, but no. He's a manipulator and gaslighter. To mess with a person's body image, especially after losing weight, is simply evil. Seriously evil. You really should kick him to the curb and trust yourself to find a kinder, more trustworthy partner. You can't fix abusive behavior, and he's an emotional abuser. Good luck and take care of yourself. You are worthy. Typical narcissist behavior. Hope he is your ex now. 6 months? That's all? Drop that loser.